came close on a couple of occasions, but nobody wanted to take the risk. The high old days of Hammer films have long since passed. So we went over to America, where we really didn't have any contacts, and talked our way into a lot of offices. And we signed what, in retrospect, is the sucker's deal, you know, because we signed our lives away. And
so you didn't make much from those?
No, absolutely not. Halfway through the shooting of the picture, the people from New World who'd been getting the dailies in Los Angeles, so this was all shot in, you know, in North London, house in Dollis Hill. You know, LA was getting the Dollis Hill dailies. And they started to look at this stuff. They thought, oh, actually, there's something going on here. We're spending this $1 million, and we thought it was sort of straight to video, but actually there's something going on here.
Explorers in the further regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others.
And then it became a minor phenomenon in the sense that this character Pinhead caught the public imagination, the image, the performance, the tone, something about it. And he became a kind of icon.
You solved the box. We came. Now you must come with us. Taste our pleasures.
Well, Pinhead, as we meet him in the first film, is a demon from hell, and he has control over this puzzle box, the Lament configuration. This opens up the gateway to a world of pain and pleasure, but it's a Faustian kind of idea of gain the world, lose your soul.
Opening the box, my final act of exploration, of discovery. I found the monster within the box. It found the monster within me.
It is a stunning image. There would be a way of presenting this image, which is basically a guy with a lot of nails banged into his head, that would just be a bloody mess and would be a visual turn-off, and you would just go, oh, I don't want to see that. The reaction I always get from people the first time they see me with the makeup on is they go, wow.
Jesus Christ!
Not quite.
It's hard to look back now and realise the impact that Hellraiser had at the time. My own responses to the scene in which Frank emerged from the floorboards, or the first scene in which the Cenobites appear, were ones of complete dread. And I think that this was something that hadn't been seen before. Literally. And I think this is part of Barker's project. It is a sense in getting away from the old notion that what is implied is much more powerful than what is seen. He clearly is looking for the revelation response here. He wants you to see those big moments. He doesn't want them happening off screen. He wants them to be centre stage like a Grand Guignol spectacle.
I think Clive is like any other director I've ever worked with. He's got a vision that's clear. He grabs onto an idea and he knows what he wants. When we first met on Hellraiser 1, we went for the most fluid, disgusting stuff we could come up with, and that was great. We used a lot of animation in there, reverse animation, so we were destroying the creature. We were literally melting it down with huge, great heaters, and the wax would run off, and we'd pull strings and wires and cables out of the wax. So in reverse, these would look like veins that would crawl in, and then the flesh would crawl over them. There's a sort of strange thought out there that somehow what we do is evil and wrong. But I have to disagree with it, because I think what we're doing is just tapping into the feelings and the sense that's in everyone. I think people can't accept that this outer shell is only the outer shell. It's just the layer that we happen to see. All the bits inside are us as well. And why that revolts people, I still don't know. But, you know, it does. The fishhooks, I think, is one of the most sort of shocking of images from the film. It's kind of, it's almost religious, I don't know why, but it's a sort of the hook's flesh and then the sort of the pulling you out into the crucifixion. I know that that comes from the Philippines, and that people really do that for real, so it's a kind of a strange, bizarre link to reality. I don't know if that sits in the back of people's mind, that's what makes it disturbing.
I've never been terribly interested in going to a movie and coming out and saying, you know, let's go get a pizza. I mean, I want to feel something, and I don't mind if that feeling once in a while, not all the time, but once in a while, is one of disgust.
Jesus wept.
It's as vital to have access to the darkness as it is to the images of transcendence. And I think one of the things that we do in our culture is marginalize the stuff we don't really want to know about. And by doing that, curiously, maybe empower it in a bad way, so that it erupts in strange fashions. One of the things I'm constantly trying to say is, let the recognition of the possibility of transcendence or the possibility of bodily corruption be something that is daily part of just getting on with existence.
Hellraiser was one of the most successful independent films of the 80s, and Barker went on to direct Nightbreed, which he adapted from his novel Cabal.
In Nightbreed in particular, the monsters are the heroes. The monsters are at the centre of the narrative. They are clearly quite appealing, glamorous, extraordinary, and there's an amazing variety to them. And I think that the whole point here for Barker is that the monsters are actually the good guys, and this was the problem that the production company, Morgan Creek, had with it. When he delivered it to them, they said, Clive, you know, our problem with this is the monsters are the good guys, and Barker's response obviously was, well, that's actually the whole point.
Clive's basic idea for Nightbreed was he wanted to create a world of monsters. All the way through the shoot, we'd still come up with creatures, and we'd invent creatures and create creatures. I think we created like 300 creatures in the end. It was a very interesting process to make that many and still keep coming up with the ideas. A lot of the time, you can build things that just aren't going to make it onto the screen. And I'm afraid this little friend here is an example. And rightly, I think Clive decided that this was too much. There are limits, and this is probably one of them.